NFL Primetime is presented by Miller Lite and approved by the men of the Square Table. Good call. And now, here's your host, Stuart Scott.
What's good? NFL Primetime and playoff football, so it is all good. Stuart, Jaws, Coach, Primetime kicking off the postseason. Guys, give me one word that describes the difference between the regular season and the postseason.
Magnified. Every play is magnified in the playoffs.
Finality, that's all.
Finality, we love it.
Whatever.
Hey, the Dallas Cowboys had not won a playoff game in 11 years, trying to change all that around at the home of the defending NFC champions. The Cowboys in Seattle taking on the Seahawks. Huge game, crazy ending to the game. Billy Barthels and the boys struggled to end the regular season. First quarter, no score. Matt Hasselbeck getting his hook on to Bobby Ingram. 36 yards and a first down. It lead to a field goal. 3-zip Seahawks. Hasselbeck 18 of 36 for the game. Still first quarter. Hasselbeck throws up a duck and Anthony Henry goes duck hunting. Picks that one off. Led to a Martin Gramatica field goal. Tied at 3. Hasselbeck 15 interceptions during the regular season. Still first quarter. Seahawks defense comes strong. Romo finds Jason Witten. He gets yoked up by Leroy Hill and Michael Boulware. Recovered by former Cowboy Peter Hunter. Coach, what did the Seahawks do to bring that pain?
Well, they do the same thing they bring all the time. They try to get a pass rush, but they didn't have very much pass rush on Romo today. Romo did a good job of moving around in the pocket, and he got the ball out pretty quick most of the time. He could have had a little help from the receivers that he didn't really get in this game.
Second quarter, getting in a groove to Terry Glenn, Patrick Creighton, Jason Witten. On this drive alone, Tony Romo was 5 of 6. He's going to hit Creighton for a touchdown. Jaws, how was he effective right here?
Well, the one thing he's doing is getting time in the pocket. Every quarterback needs time. Now he extends the play, finds Creighton. Great effort by Creighton.
Creighton's first career postseason touchdown, manned up to get in. But third quarter, Cowboys up 10-6. Matt Hasselbeck on his gang to Jeremy Stevens. And then holla at a player when you see him in the street. Hasselbeck, who had 18 touchdowns in the regular season, finds Stevens. Seahawks up 13-10. Ensuing kickoff, have some.
Watch this.
Miles Austin. Coach, he don't even get touched.
He got a throttle now. When he puts it down, he goes. He got one speed, full speed. This is what you love to see in a kick returner. He just hits it and goes.
20th kickoff return for a touchdown in NFL postseason history. Cowboys up 17-13. But Hasselbeck to DJ Hackett. Tipped by Terrence Newman, picked by Roy Williams. Jaws, who made this play?
Great awareness by Terrence Newman, tipping the ball back to Roy Williams, kept his feet in bounds for the interception. Excellent ball skills.
Play challenged by Seattle, but upheld. Ensuing Seahawks possession, Hasselbeck to the end zone. Nate Burleson incomplete, but hold up, wait a minute. Pass interference on Terrence Newman. First and goal on the 1-yard line. Sean Alexander, former MVP, he had 69 yards. Would have been 76. He lost 7. And then Hasselbeck under pressure for Marcus Spears, incomplete. Hasselbeck to Stevens down to the 2-yard line. 4th and goal, they go for it. Hasselbeck, bootleg, nothing doing. Incomplete to Will Heller. Cowboys 20-13. Still, they take over in downs. But the first play, this is just bananas.
Now it gets strange.
A game of inches. It's crazy.
Glenn stripped by Kelly Jennings. Seahawks recover in the end zone. They call it a touchdown. Coach, sort it out for us.
Well, it looked like a touchdown. The guy did a heck of a job. Watch his foot right here. It touches the sideline. He's out of bounds. So when he throws it back in, it just becomes a safety.
Safety, 2015 Cowboys. Hasselbeck, this is just saucy.
Yep.
Jeremy Stevens had only 4 touchdown catches all year. He had 2 in this game. 2-point conversion, no good. Seattle up 21-20. Julius Jones.
He can run.
Young Cousin had 112 yards in this game, 74 in the fourth quarter. That's a first down. 3 plays later on 3rd and 7, Jason Witten inside the 5. Witten is just stopped. Lofa Tatupu with a man stop on him. Woo. Martin Gramatica doesn't even get a chance to kick what would be a game-winning field goal. Tony Romo mishandled the snap in a play that will go down in infamy. Jaws, what happened?
Well, Stu, you know, you got to catch the ball first. Romo did that. As he was putting the ball down, you like to turn to get the laces forward, hit that spot. The ball just slipped out of his hand.
After a Seahawks punt, Tony Romo had his head down for about 5 minutes. One last chance. Terry Glenn is actually in great position on this Hail Mary, standing at the back, waiting for a tip that comes just short. Seahawks won it 21-20 in a game that was just absolutely berserk in the fourth quarter. Tony Romo, 17 of 29, 189 yards, no interceptions, but that very last mishandled snap on what would have been a chip shot field goal and possibly a win.
I didn't catch the ball, and I didn't get it down. And I don't know, it happened pretty quick. I didn't get the ball down, and it obviously cost us the game. It hurts real bad right now to think about, just because, you know, I know how hard everyone in that locker room worked to get themselves in position to win that game today, and you know, for it to end like that, and for me to be the cause is very, it's very tough to swallow right now.
We were in position to win it there if we could just executed an extra point. It looked like it was a good snap. I can't tell you what happened after that. It looked like it was a pretty good snap. You know, you got to finish the games, and we just didn't do it.
Man, I just told him you know, not to hang his head. You know, he's made a lot of plays for us, and you know, that one play, don't get too down on yourself and get consumed with that one play. I really feel bad for him. And, you know, especially when it comes down to a field goal, definitely to put us ahead. You know, I can't imagine what he's going through.
Tony Romo started just 10 games this year and still made the NFC Pro Bowl starting those 10 games. But a play like this, Jaws, how does he not catch that ball that he's done 11 gajillion times in practice and just put it down?
Well, it's one of those bizarre things. You know, I was a holder for 15 years, and no one knows he's a holder until you have one botch. He secured the snap. He looked at the spot to put the ball down. As he was getting to that spot, the ball slipped out of his hand. This operation takes about 1.3 seconds. You do it every single day, before practice, after practice, during practice. And actually, if you look at that ball, it does look a little bit slick to me. I'm not going to make any excuse for Tony Romo. He won't make any for himself. But, Coach, I got to tell you, that ball looked a little bit shiny.
It did. It looked almost wet to me. But I tell you one thing. Let me say something about Tony Romo. Yeah, it was a bad play. But he is the reason they're in that game. He is the reason. When he came off the bench this year, he played well enough to put the Cowboys, to give them a chance to get through the playoffs. They missed it by one play. This was an unbelievable game. The disappointment that's going to go through this team is going to linger for a long time. It's a game they should have won, could have won, but didn't win. You never find the answers for that.
Jackie Smith.
Yeah.
Joe Pisarcik. When you think about those two guys, there's only one thing that you think about. What are the odds that this is going to be the one thing that you remember Tony Romo by?
Well, I don't think it will be the one thing you remember Tony Romo by. He's a very young quarterback that played very well. As the coach said, he's the reason the Cowboys were in the playoffs. But clearly, mentally, this will be very difficult to get over. Fortunately, he's going to Hawaii.
Yeah, but no, that's not important. Why? Forget Hawaii. But he's got to get over this. You got to put it behind you, son, because it ain't going to do you any good. It's over. It's the past. You learn from the past. I mean, I can't tell you what he was doing wrong there. It just looked like the ball was slippery to me too, but I don't know.
A little bit of humility right there, that's for sure.
418th postseason game in NFL history, only the 15th decided by just 1 point. Still ahead on NFL Primetime. Oh, Larry Johnson's just going to run all over the Indianapolis Colts, blah, blah, blah. And the Colts are like blah, blah, blah that. Wait till you see the highlights.
There's no debate. Miller Lite, good call.
She is the team mom. Her boys are big, so she's big on Campbell's Chunky. Hearty meals to feed an NFL-sized hunger. Team mom, we salute you. Campbell's Chunky, deals that fill you up right.
Visa Business Card gives you financial tools to help reduce paperwork, increase efficiency, and maybe even save a tree or two. Your business is your life. Life takes Visa.
You kidding me? What? Pull over. I didn't do anything. Kid's older brother owes money, and Johnny's holding it until he gets paid.
So you're like ransom or something. That's hot.
Kid goes home, everybody's looking at life. Life?
Lord, give me a sign. This Friday.
We gotta kill the kid. That's a joke, right?
How far do you go?
There's a missing persons poster on every street corner.
When there's no turning back.
I would never rat you guys out. Yeah, we know that, man.
Alpha Dog, rated R, starts Friday.
Donovan McNabb is driven, motivated, hungry.
Hungry enough for Campbell's chunky New England clam chowder.
Feed your NFL-sized hunger. Campbell's Chunky. Meals that fill you up right.
Preston, use the fork I taught you to use. Dessert. Fish, talk to your son.
Preston Weatherby?
Rich Eisen!
You're going to the Super Bowl with an NFL player.
Yes!
And you can take your mom and dad.
Log on to NFLRush.com for your chance to win a trip to the Super Bowl.
Going to the Super Bowl. Can I take someone else? I want to go!
NFL Primetime is presented by Miller Lite. For great taste, there's no debate. Miller Lite, always a good call.
Wild card flavor. Chiefs and Colts, Tony Dungy and his boys. Worst run defense in the NFL. Peyton Manning getting ready for some love. Herm Edwards, Tony Dungy's best friend. He and his running back, Larry Johnson. Big Larry did some running. First drive of the game, Larry Johnson. You will get nothing and you will like it. This is a guy who led the league with 11 100-yard games this year. That's a 2-yard gain only. Later in the quarter, Peyton Manning. The radar lock on Marvin Harrison. 42-yard game, but Marv, only 2 catches for 48 yards. Still, as great as he is, only 2 career touchdown catches in the postseason. Later in the drive, Manning, back of the end zone, incomplete. Not happy. Adam Vinatieri, who has never missed a field goal in this building, would put Indy up 3-zip. On the ensuing drive, Trent Green.
What happened there?
Bum rush by Dwight Freeney. Resulting Colts drive. Jaws, why does Ty Law seem to own Peyton Manning?
You know, he's a cluer. He looks back in at the quarterback. He reads the quarterback's drop. And really in this game, Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning were not on the same page. They were miscommunicating.
Ty once intercepted Peyton 3 times by himself in one game. After the interception, second goal for the Chiefs, Larry Johnson stopped at the 1. Next play, Green stepped on as he takes the snap, tackled at the 5-yard line. Take another look. Coach, what happened here?
Well, the guard just stepped on him. The guard was trying to, what we do, pull block a little bit. He was trying to move to the inside, and still the inside stepped right on his foot.
And then Lawrence Tynes on a gimme. The gimme was no good. Colts still up 6-0. Next Chiefs possession. Trent Green throws right. You won't see Tony Gonzalez do that very often at all. 2 plays later.
Running without the ball.
3rd and 2. Trent under pressure.
Boom.
His wideouts are just dropping everything. Chiefs forced to punt. Ensuing Colts possession. Manning getting his hook on to Joseph Adai. 16-yard gain. Later in the drive, Colts 3rd and 16. Peyton Manning threw 3 interceptions in this game. You don't expect that from him. 1:40 left in the second quarter. 1st and 10. Trent to Gary Brackett right in the chest. But see what?
Oh, boy.
Well, I guess everybody's dropping his balls, even the defense. 2 plays later, Green to Larry Johnson. Falls down after making the catch. Why do you think KC was off so much?
They just seemed out of rhythm. I didn't see the formation variation, the motion, all the gimmicks and gadgets weren't there for the Chiefs in this matchup.
I said Adam Vinatieri never missed a field goal in this. Still hasn't missed one in this building. That was a 50-yarder. Colts up 9-0 at the half. Now, despite being outgained 255-16, just 16 in the first 30 minutes, they're only down 9-0. Dating back to 1960, they're the first team to go without a first down.
0.
First half of a postseason game. 0. They had as many first downs as we did. Second half, Lovie Smith in attendance at the game. African-American head coaches showing love for each other. Opening drive of the second half, Peyton Manning looking for Marvin Harrison. Are you kidding me? Ty Law has intercepted Peyton Manning 9 times in the regular season and postseason, but Chiefs would not capitalize. Joseph Adai would capitalize. running the rookie on his giddy-up. Maybe just happy about LSU busting up Notre Dame in that bowl game. And then a dive. Peyton's passing game was a little shaky. Joseph Adai getting his run on. Colts up 16-0. 3:39 left to go in the third quarter. This is the Kansas City Chiefs' first down of the game.
Did you say first down?
That was their first down with 3 minutes left in the game. And then Trent Green to Tony Gonzalez. Chiefs would go for 2. They'd convert. 16-8 Colts. But here comes Peyton Manning. 7 4,000-yard seasons a record. Hooking up with Reggie Wayne. Colts up 23-8. 6:15 left. Trent Green popped as he throws. Bob Sanders was everywhere. Bob Sanders only played 4 games this year. Why does this guy give that defense so much spirit?
Because he's a guy that could play in coverage that we just saw, and he can get nosed at the line of scrimmage and play the run.
He plays the game with passion.
Dwight Freeney on the sack. Late in the drive, Green sacked and fumbled. The Colts recover. Herm Edwards says to one of his coaches, "We can't block them." And then after the game, Herm told his buddy, Tony Dungy, "Now you guys go win this thing. Listen to me. You guys go win this thing." Trent Green, 14-24, a $107 and those 2 interceptions. Peyton Manning had 30 completions, but he had those 3 interceptions. But Peyton knows the reason they won, and it sounds weird to say this, Colts defense?
What?
Our defense was just awesome today and did a great job of getting some turnovers. And, you know, anytime you have a series where you punt, you always want to get the ball right back. And our defense, for the most part, got it right back for us today.
It's all about guys just making plays when the opportunity presents itself. So let's forget about what everybody else said. It does not matter what they say. This is playoffs, man. Throw all the stats out the window. Last this, last that. It does not matter. Once the playoffs start, everybody starts from a fresh slate.
If you're going to win a championship, you have to have some games where your defense does come on when your offense isn't totally on track. And defensively, it was really a good performance.
We couldn't get anything going, and maybe we could have run the ball, but the problem is you never know because we were 3 and out all the time. You don't have an opportunity to do anything.
Now, inside the numbers, maybe the most surprising performance of this season by a single unit. The Colts defense, they had allowed an NFL worst 173 yards per game on the ground during the regular season. It was horrible. And in this game, they allowed the Chiefs 44 yards rushing. 44. The Chiefs had as many first downs in the first half as we did. How do you go from allowing 173 to, and it's not just 44 yards, Coach, it's 44 yards to an offense that has probably the second best running back in the NFL.
Well, you can tell a guy he's bad for so long, and finally he's going to say, "I'm not that bad." But, I mean, they played with passion. They had purpose when they tackled. This is the best they tackled. The other thing I thought they did well, they had a lot of run stunts.
There you go.
And the run stunts, they fit. They finally started fitting in the hole, and they were stopping Larry Johnson before he could get underway, and that's the only way you're going to stop him.
Yeah, Ron Meeks, the defensive coordinator, did a nice job, and he added in Bob Sanders as an 8th run defender. So you know what that means? You're getting 8 in the box to stop the run, but it also says you're leaving isolation routes one-on-one on the outside. The Kansas City Chiefs starting wide receivers caught 0 passes in the game.
Again? How many?
So 0 passes to wide receivers.
So the starting wideouts didn't catch it?
They didn't catch a ball. So you got to look at the corners. Nick Harper, Jason David, Marlon Jackson did a terrific job because they were one-on-one.
The Colts, the first team since 1984 to allow at least 100 yards rushing in every game this season. They did not allow 100 yards rushing in this game. Still ahead on NFL Primetime, we go back to Seattle to talk about maybe the most botched field goal attempt in recent years.
Inside the Numbers, brought to you by Visa. Go on, live life, and remember that no matter what it takes, life takes Visa.
You guys run the double team a lot, right?
Join us in March for ESPN The Weekend at the Walt Disney World Resort. Book your trip online today.
Nothing is impossible. It's a dirty word, a challenge dismissed with a rip and a shred. Winter X Games 11. It only happens here. January 25th through the 28th, live on ESPN and ABC.
Here at the Chic Shave Lab, we have been testing the Chic Quattro Titanium in simulated social environments to see if it really is of the hizzy. 3, 2, 1. Of the hizzy, indeed.
Chic Quattro Titanium stays sharp
to give you a close, smooth shave with less irritation than the leading brand. It's the only razor with 4 advanced blades made with titanium.
Squeak Quattro Titanium. The power of 4 meets titanium. Available in manual and power.
We gave the all-new Altima inspired design, advanced technology, aggressive performance, and what looked great on paper was even better on the road. Introducing the next generation Nissan Altima.
Join us in March for ESPN The Weekend at the Walt Disney World Resort. Superstar athletes, thrilling attractions, ESPN personalities, live telecasts, and more. Book your trip at ESPNTheWeekend.com. Presented by Dick's Sports.
What is HGR?
If I'm doing a job, first place I look is HGR.
HGR is industrial surplus.
Everything from industrial maintenance supplies to cutting tools to highly specialized equipment.
HGR is incredible savings.
You name it. It's all here.
See how you can save time and money by visiting our website at hgrinc.com.
If you're looking for a bargain, you're looking for industrial equipment, supplies, it's the place to go.
HGR's got it.
Hey, what are we doing tonight?
Let's call Red Hot Dateline again and get some hot guys over. It's worked before. What's that number?
Hey, the girls are local, they're hot, and it's free to try. What are you waiting for?
And make sure you bring a friend. I bet they're as cute as the last Red Hot guys. I told you, Red Hot really works.
Yeah.
Go wild and try it free. 330-259-0505.
Centers everywhere. Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite.
In case you missed it, the Seahawks escaped at home in Seattle. Fourth quarter, Cowboys down 21-20. Chance to win it with a field goal. Tony Romo botches the snap. Tries to score, stopped at the 2-yard line. Seahawks win it 21-20. Tony Romo suffers defeat in his playoff debut.
You know, I think we were a little inconsistent from time to time, but I mean, I know we have a better team competitively than what we had in the past. I know that. So
it's tough. It's definitely tough for everyone. You know, I think we fought our way to get back in the ball game. Definitely had an opportunity to win it at the end. For whatever reason, it just didn't happen.
You know, we're an extra point from being down to the 8 teams left. So, you know, that's what's the hardest thing.
I take responsibility for messing up at the end there, and that's my fault. And, you know, I cost the Dallas Cowboys a playoff win, and you know, that's going to sit with me a long time.
Bill has lost games before. I think what even makes this probably an issue is that where he is in his career. And I haven't sensed in Bill any type of emotion or mannerisms that would indicate he didn't want to continue coaching football.
Week 13, the Cowboys won a game 23-20 over the Giants. After that, they lost 4 of their last 5 games. On Week 13, when they won, they were 8-4. They had a 2-game lead, and then the bottom fell out. Why was there such a demise, Coach?
Well, I think their defense got exploited, although I have to say their defense played pretty darn well today, except for the tight end. The tight end had a big day against the linebacker and a safety. I tell you what, I know how much this hurts Bill Parcells, but I believe as much as it hurts, it's going to make him want to come back that much more. This team is close.
Yeah, I agree, Bill. I agree that Bill has enough. Bill has enough talent on his football team right now that I think he's going to want to come back. And although Romo looks, you know, we're going to look at that play and we're going to remember that play, I thought he gave a solid performance at the quarterback position. And actually, late in the season, I thought the players were tuning Bill Parcells out, but certainly not today. I thought they played with great emotion, a great passion, and certainly they were ready to play.
10 times Parcells has led at halftime of a postseason game. This is only the 2nd time that he has ever lost one of those games. Bill Parcells is 65 years old. He has coached in 3 Super Bowls, and you got to wonder, what about his future? Chris Mortensen has the latest on that.
Well, now the clock begins on Bill Parcells' future with the Dallas Cowboys. There's a 5-day window in which Parcells and Jerry Jones must come to an agreement on whether Parcells will return to coach the Cowboys in 2007. Jones has been consistent publicly and privately in saying he wants Parcells back. After a tough loss like this, if he continues to whisper sweet nothings in Bill's ear, there are some people close to Parcells who believe he will in fact come back for his 20th NFL season. If he does, don't expect you-know-who, Terrell Owens, to be back with him.
That's the NFC. As for the AFC, how big a game will it be in the city of Baltimore next week? The Colts played nearly 40 years in Baltimore before packing up the Mayflower moving trucks and secretly leaving in the middle of the night for Indianapolis in March of 1984. 23 years later, they'll go back. The Miller Lite square-off will be a showdown of the unstoppable force, the immovable object, Colts and Ravens. Ravens led the NFL in scoring defense, total defense, and fewest yards. Indy can score with anybody. Coming up on NFL Primetime, we look ahead to Wild Card Sunday. Will we see an upset? A lot is cooking.
Square Off is brought to you by Miller Lite and approved by the men of the square table. Join the debate at manlaws.com. Good call.
Honey, look at this.
Is it for all of us?
Yeah. $1,600 for a week. But we can do that.
Oh, yeah.
The magic begins when you realize you can afford a Disney vacation. Other affordable packages all year long. Visit disneyworld.com/affordable.
Get ready for kickoff with Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
At the World Beer Cup, over 2,000 beers are judged from 540 breweries in 56 countries. And in 2006, one of those beers won gold for Best American Style Light Lager for the 4th time. In fact, Miller Lite's won more awards at the World Beer Cup than any other light beer. For award-winning taste, there's no debate. Miller Lite, good call.
Meet the Dollar Millionaires. From vintage pleather to McDonald's double cheeseburgers, these folks are all about the Washingtons. Looks like Rachel here has this season's it accessory. No wonder she rolls with such a handsome entourage.
These people live like money grows on trees. Trees they can't find.
But they have no trouble finding de-luxurious meals on the dollar menu. Now I'd buy that for $1.
When Arthur discovered the world of the Invisibles, he never thought he'd get to become one of them.
It's incredible.
Now,
that kingdom is mine.
You're a monster.
I know. I get it from my wife.
We need your help.
He's part of the biggest adventure he could ever imagine.
How heroic, he's just like me.
He does remind me of you.
Arthur and the Invisibles. Rated PG. In theaters everywhere Friday.
NFL Primetime is presented by Miller Lite and approved by the men of the square table. Good call.
Wildcard weekend continues Sunday. A whole lot of flavor. Jets and Patriots, New England, 10-1 in the postseason under Belichick. Giants and Eagles, Giants into the playoffs, losers of 6 of their last 8 games. You got to check these two guys out on Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. Eastern, Sunday, right here.